New Year, you guys. I am so glad to be back. We're gonna go antiquing. I'm bringing you along to the Brass Armadillo. But I thought, really quick, while I'm finishing my coffee, we should start the intro of this video with some chit chat on plans, goals. I don't know what you guys have planned for the new year. You can definitely let me know about it in the comments. But as I have shared in previous videos, I want to move out of state, and that's gonna be a huge ordeal. I've already gotten some emails from some of you who have moved across country and given me your nuggets of wisdom on a huge process like that. I am going to take you along for the ride. I'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of all of it. But the important thing is to follow the flow, lean into the excitement, the motivation of wanting to be closer to my daughter, and just have faith. So that's going to be the underlying theme for 2026, is I'm just gonna have faith that everything will turn out as it should. But I have been working so hard. I've been such a good worker bee. I've already had a pop-up sale. I've had a curated live sale. I have another curated sale coming up at the end of January. I'm also continuing to list in the Etsy shop. So it's time for me to get out of the house. I'm taking you antiquing. Are you ready? Let's go. So the Brass Armadillo is right next to a very large freeway, I-70. So one thing I didn't think of is there could be some after Christmas sales, possibly. All right. Handy dandy basket. Okay. Got my little rolly cart. Okay, so this is right up front. This is one of my favorite booths. The first thing I'm noticing of her booth is the giant corbels. Really nice statement pieces holding up the trellis work here at the top. And then look up here at the ceiling. All of these windows, the way they are artistically layered. I'm sure there is a lot of work to make it balanced with the larger and smaller windows. The one thing I probably will never do in a booth is have a bed in it. I think it takes up just too much space, but that's just me personally. And it looks like she is doing a sale, Red X 50% off. The only Red X's I have seen so far is Christmas items, like these little trees have a little red X on the tag. But I'm here mostly for inspo. I do like the idea of using the top of a hutch just as a bookcase, because the tops of hutches are a much more narrow profile, so they don't take up as much room. I also think if you were doing a traveling show, they're great because, again, they don't take up as much space in a truck. So perfect all the way around. These would be really nice for spring, or maybe a soft pastel Valentine display. $18.60. So after tax, you got about 20 bucks, but super cute. Spalding china. I like that. Right next to it is a very nicely coordinated little planter. Yeah, so she is putting out a little bit of what I'm going to say is more spring colors. But of course, she's got a lot of trees left. Lots of trees left. And let's see, this is half off of $21.60. So basically $11. So here's an idea. I'm not sure on the execution, but obviously a really cute like lawyer's bookcase section, and then it must have been in such bad shape they decided to wallpaper it with some world maps, and I think, you know, it's not really done the best, but it is an idea that I think if executed maybe a little bit better. This is another idea that I could utilize at an antique show, because it's so easy to fold away and it holds a lot of linens. So that's a good one. Let's remember that. I'm wondering if I should really start looking at clothing, because I think clothing does sell well at big antique markets. It's not something I usually am looking for as far as reselling items. I usually stay away from fashion for resale because, you know, it's hard to have clothes for every size. I really like that. That's a beautiful wool vest. A lot of personality. Ooh. See, I think I might look for items like this, especially if I decide to do the Nashville junk hunt in 2027. I should be looking for stuff like that. I don't know about boots. I know nothing about boots. I guess I'm gonna have to learn because I'm sure those are great to pick up as well. Leather and wool clothing items. Okay, yep. It's another thing I need to think about. Is there any good display ideas? Windows, again. Windows are good. I think lighting is definitely something I will continue to pick up, but just not right now. No lighting is allowed. Look at these beautiful brass deer. Oh, $65 for the pair. That's a good price. Could you get both? They're nice. I like the fact that they're both sitting. I usually see deer in a kind of grazing stance, but I like this. They're just chilling together. Now let's move these over because there's an exquisite, one-of-a-kind embroidered piece back here. Looks to be military. I decided to take it down. I believe the glass was replaced because it's that non-reflective glass. So once you get the lights off of it, it shows beautifully. So someone really loved this. It's in fantastic shape. Just look at the thread work around the portrait here. It says J.W. Craven. Wow. This shelf is interesting. It kind of looks homemade, but there's enough architectural angles and design to it that I wouldn't mind trying to create something like this. What would be even better is if I could figure out a way to make something like this that would fold down, where maybe the brackets folded in and this folded down. That could be a really cute idea. Can you hear the wheels turning? While my brain is trying to come up with future booth ideas. Wow, look at some of the pieces in this booth. I really like the wood on the floor lamps, $700. All right, yeah, mid-century modern is still very popular, especially here in Denver. I love pieces like this. So this would be like a wallpaper cylinder for printing patterns in India on either wallpaper or fabric. I used to have one, but I sold it $350 for that guy. I love pieces like that. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, very deco, probably 80s does deco. Let's look at the tag. The tag says 1950s, and they're asking $1,000 for this. But you have to admit, I mean, the sculptural appeal of the shade here with the uplight, it's beautifully done, adds drama. That's the kind of stuff I want to find so that I can make $1,000. All right, so now we're going down Kansas Avenue, and I wanted to check out, this is a newer vendor, and they definitely have these two booths across from each other, and I really love the way items are displayed in this booth. It is a bit packed. Do I think it's a little tight? Yes, but it's still beautiful. Some great pieces like the old corbels, a lot of unique pottery, like a lot of pottery. Look at all the pottery in here. So here's an idea that I think is interesting. This looks like an older hutch. It's possible it could be from Mexico, or, you know, it could be an antique piece, but it's just these hinges are making me think it's more of like maybe like a 1990s Mexican cabinet. But look what they did. They got an old pillar, split it in half, and then nailed it to the sides of the cabinet, making it look much more rustic. So these pillars go all the way up and extend past the top of the cabinet. It's interesting, an interesting application of adding older to vintage. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe this looks more antique to something, maybe more of like a vintage piece. What do you think of that? It's different. It's definitely different. Now over here, I like this idea a lot. So this looks like the framework for a bookcase, but they took all the shelving out of it, and it's kind of turned into more of a trellis display. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe this originally started out brass. I'm not sure, but it looks like they have a painted finish on it, so it looks like a rusted little garden trellis. But I think this was originally a bookcase. I do like it though. That's really innovative. Okay, on this side there's a lot more for me to get inspired by. Of course, the antique a bottle holder, bottle drying rack. Really cool. Love it with the teacups. I do really like the ladder as display shelving. I'm trying not to look at the beautiful silver plate up here. It is tempting me, but we don't need any more. I'm on tub 4 trying to pack up my silver plate because I know I don't want to sell any of it. Yeah, I highly underestimated how much a tub can hold. So I'm feeling a little bit of stress with packing away the items that I know I am not letting go of. It's going to be a lot of tubs. I wonder how much square footage our truck is going to be able to hold. I should probably look into it. Now, turned wood pieces definitely appeals more to me if I was going to have a little collection for sale, because they're a lot harder to break than pottery, if you know what I mean. I really like the old knotted wood pieces, like this basket. Very cool. And yeah, if I got more wood, I know people like pottery, but gosh, it's so heavy and it'd be so much more weight. And there'd be so much fragility involved in traveling for a show that I'm a little more interested in the idea of having a collection of wood. So I should think about that. We have another piece that's been wallpapered, although this actually looks old. I don't know if it's pretending to be or if it really is, but it's a great way to cover up issues that you don't want to showcase, like maybe staples or some sort of dry rot, actually. That's another thing to think about. If you're buying a piece that has a wallpapered application, what were they covering up? We don't know. Is that something you guys think about? Maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't wallpaper something with maps, because then people are just going to be wondering if there's an issue underneath. I wasn't really thinking about that. Maybe I should rethink the idea of wallpapering a piece with maps, because then the buyer is probably going to be wondering, what was I covering up? Hopefully just some rusty nails and staples and not mold, right? Now this window I think is so cool. Putting old letters in each glass pane section adds so much interest and character. It'd be even cooler if it was letters from someone you knew, like if it was your grandparents' correspondence or something that was really personal to you. But I think it's a great idea. I also really like this divider. I usually don't sell silverware, but I love this idea of having small sets. Let's see, how much would it be worth it? Let's see, they're asking $26 for what looks like 6 teaspoons. So if I can get them for a good price, that actually might be a fun thing to pick up for a show. I mean, usually I end up getting serving spoons, but maybe it would be worth my while to pick up some antique sets of 6 or 8 that have a really nice design. You know, like I like these really fancy Baroque Rococo style. They've got everything from fancy to more simple. Yeah, it looks like each bundle is about $26. So maybe if I can find some at the right price, I'll do that. I think if I could find like a set of spoons or forks for $10 and then could bundle them and sell them for $25, I mean, that would be good, I think. It's definitely not 4 timesing my money, but I'm pretty practical when it comes to my flips. All right. I think I'm going to move on. Really liked those booths, though. Really nice stuff, but I'm not seeing super inspiring display. But wait a minute. What is this pot rack? Is this pot rack something else and it's being repurposed as a pot rack? What else we got for ideas? I like the primitive hutch. Ooh, a loaf pan. A loaf pan that could be used as shelving. That could be an interesting idea. I mean, the only reason I'm thinking of it as a shelf is because they've got it leaning against the cabinet. But I think if you found nice square loaf pans, yeah, I like this idea. So getting a commercial larger loaf pan unit and using this as a shelf idea, kind of like a little cubby cabinet. I have to show you this photo. It's so cool. It's $35, so not something I'm gonna pick up, but look, each child has their own riding vehicle. So we've got 2 old bikes, and then look at the fire truck. It's got the Christmas tree. That is such a great photo. All right, so Brass Armadillo has a ton of booths. And like I said, I'm not gonna do a ton of shopping. I'm mostly just getting some nice exercise and looking for good ideas. Oh my goodness, look at this little pal. Isn't he wonderful? $500 for this guy. Oh, I'm tempted, but it's not the right time. Not the right time to be taking home an elephant. Yeah, let's keep moving. See if we have any creativity that we need to absorb. I'm not seeing anything down this aisle. Oh, look at this. Ooh. So I'm looking at both the spoon chandeliers as well as some of the pieces here on the back wall. I'm gonna try to dive in. You can see it's kind of hard to get all the way back there, but this kind of looks like a converted child's chair or small kitchen chair, and they turned it into a shelf. One, I'd want larger pegs that extended farther out from under the shelf, but other than that, I love the entire concept. So yay. Woo, we're bumping into stuff. Like I said, it's tight. That's one thing that I really don't like. I don't like it when I can't shop a booth really easily, when there's just too much stuff to get back somewhere. I don't like that. All right, you guys, so I'm in a bit of a predicament. I found something big, something I shouldn't really be taking home. It would be for resale, but it's a vintage Anna Lee, and he's $15. And I think he's worth at least $50. But he is missing a flower, so maybe he's not worth that much. I mean, it's easily replaceable, but that would make him not original condition. I don't know, but look at the old Anna Lee tag. I feel like this guy's an old one. What to do? $15 is a great price for one this big. We'll think on you. We'll put you in the cart and think on it. Yeah? All right, so this is obviously on the creepy side, but there's something to say for a booth that has a curtain. You know, you want to go and see what's behind the curtain. There's something psychological about this. So even if you didn't do it, you know, leaning toward a darker gothic theme, you could definitely do a brighter curtain. I think it would still draw you in. I do like the inspired doll head in the old display box. Let's look at her real quick. Ooh, it's a beautiful box. That's gorgeous. I'm loving everything except for the green hair. I definitely think this is an inspired piece though. $83 she's asking. Good for her. I think we should all support all creative endeavors. That's definitely creative. All right, so this is just the kind of booth that I'm drawn to. It's rustic, but more European rustic. I'm really drawn to what looks like some sort of coal bucket. It is $475, but beautiful. Love it with the branches coming out of it. Use it as a giant wall pocket. Why the heck not? Yeah, I just wanted to show this just because I love this stuff. These are great too. You get both of them. 425 European iron, obelisk shaped garden trellises is what I would call those. Yeah, I just love it. Look at it. Everything. Brown, rustic, beautiful. Wow, French large textile mill basket, $6.25. Holy cow. It's wonky, but just the massive size of it. Wow. All right, you guys, I'm on the floor under this amazing drop leaf table, but look at this. It's a display piece full of bird nests. It's so cool. And it is marked down to $80. Gosh, this is one of those that would be completely tempting. But since I'm moving, that just seems like an awful headache, even though the price is great. I'm almost wondering if this belonged to a visitor center at one of the local parks and like recreation wildlife areas. We have a lot of those here in Colorado where you can stop, go inside, do a little walk around, and then walk along the rivers and the bike paths and things like that. So that's what I'm thinking maybe this is from. Very cool though. I've got some more beautiful European antiques. The prices are high in here. Let's see. The wire harvest basket is $95. Nice big one though. $5.75 on the stained glass. And this is beautiful. $1,800. I love the etched starburst of each little glass panel in there. If you look all the way down with all the metal flourishes. Gorgeous. Right, I found another unique kind of converted repurpose. Let me scoot back. So we've got the post, the turned post with base. And then they added these metal extensions. Did it come this way? It says shabby towel rack. I'm guessing they made this. I'm wondering, could these be maybe for, I don't know, valances? How did they get that to custom wrap around the pole though? I don't know. But it's a pretty great little idea for a towel display, linen display. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay, you guys, I decided to head out. The Brass is so huge. You can spend 3 hours, which I did, and barely scratch the surface. But I did have a good time in there. So many things to look at. I do like shopping booths that aren't too stuffed. That's definitely something for everyone who has an antique booth to really consider. Don't cram it in so we can't walk into the entire booth. All right, you guys, shall we go home and list some items for the Etsy shop? Do you want to see some of the treasures that I'm going to be letting go? Let's go look. Alrighty, let's go over some of the things I plan on listing in the next couple days. I am going to give up 2 of my little Italian shelving pieces. These are plaster. I'm not sure on the age, but I have enjoyed them very, very much. But again, breakable. And because I have several, I think I'm going to list them. I think I'm going to list these. I also am going to give up one of my milk glass canisters. This one's so cool because it's got this cobalt blue glass top. It's so cool. I love this thing. But again, breakables. I do love these. I have several, so I'm going to list one of them and see how it does. If this sells pretty fast, then I might list the other ones that I have. But just one for now as a test. I'm going to give up 2 of my trophies. I'm going to list these as a twofer. So you'll get the little baby with the larger guy. And this one, I don't know how old it is. I'm thinking possibly 50s with that style of base here. It's plastic, or I don't think that's Bakelite. But it's nice coppery finish. And this one's got kind of a coppery finish too. This one's actually pretty heavy. This actually is a little heavier than this guy. So I don't know what that means. This is still, yeah, this is still metal, but I'm thinking maybe this is some sort of aluminum, just because the weight is so much lighter than this little guy. He's probably older. He could be deco with those handles. Yeah, I've just decided I'm gonna list these as a little duo. And this is so, oh wait, hold on. So the bigger one is from the 50s, because I just flipped it around and it says Alpha Tan Omega Esquire Girl 1957. So 1957 on that guy. This one says, what does it say in there? It says Dodge Incorporated, Los Angeles, Chicago, Newark, Miami. Well, there you go. And I'm going to list them as a cute little set because they both have kind of a coppery finish to them. So those I'm listing. I also already listed a pair of antique ironstone brown transferware plates. And I priced those at like a 2-for-1 deal. I think the 2 plates I listed for $35, and just one of those I think is worth over $35. Someone better snatch it. Another item that I'm putting up there. I'm not giving it away, but I'm listing it for probably half of its retail value. Lundberg Studios, beautiful 13-inch tall golden Murano regal vase. It comes with its paperwork. You can check it out in the listing, but look at the size of her. Signed Lundberg Studios. Right there on the bottom. Well, you can't see it. I saw vases that were in the same color by Lundberg Studios at half the size, like 6-7 inches, for the same price as I'm listing this guy. So we'll see if anybody finds it. That's the hard part. When you have a small shop, it's hard for people to find your listings. So that's why I'm kind of putting it out there. If you know anybody who might want some of these items, send them over to the Antique Agenda Etsy shop. Ooh, another thing that I'm gonna list is pretty great. It's the spinach colorway, a Bakelite hand knotted beaded necklace. Super long. It can be doubled to more of like a choker size, but the diameter of these larger beads at the bottom, these are winners. So these should command a high price. I will list it higher since this is easy to pack, and we'll see somebody wants to snag my beautiful necklace. But my plan is to list these for maybe $400. I saw some solds with graduated beads that went this large, solds in the 600 range. So I'm gonna hold out and see if I can get $400 on my Etsy. We shall see about that one. But if no one finds those, that's easy to pack and easy to take with me. All right, so far, that's what I've pulled. That's what I've pulled for a listing right now. And as you can see, I'm working. I did get some of my Christmas put away, but some of it still needs to be packed. Good old Cherub. He's coming to Alabama with me. But I gotta pack him up. So I've got lots of work to do. Back to the grindstone, you guys. So until I see you in my next video, which I think possibly might be a super duper garage sale video. There's one happening in Aurora this weekend. So if I can get myself over to that event, I will see you there in the next video. Until then, I am wishing you all so much success in your goals and New Year's resolutions, and have faith. Have faith that everything will turn out the way it should. I'm sending you much love. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. And until I see you in the next one, bye for now. Tobacco, not perfume.
It's a joke, it's a joke's leg. Of
oh, okay. So this wouldn't have been for the ladies. This would have been for the gentlemen.
Yes. 1775.
1775 for this charming porcelain leg with a sterling top, meant to be very tongue-in-cheek to hold tobacco.